why do you care? I understand that's your family. I understand that. But if her parents aren't worried about it, if her mom told you to let it go, if everybody else is telling you to let it go, why do you care? What's up, guys? It's your girl Ashray, and I'm back with another video. I decided to go ahead and start reviewing growing up hip hop. Like, I did one episode like years ago. Well, not years. I think it was like 2 years ago or whatever. But now I've decided to go ahead and start reviewing it again. I am this is gonna be episode 4. I did not do episodes 1 through 3 because, like I just said, I just decided to review it. So hopefully, well, I will. I'm gonna just make a schedule so I can keep up with all these shows because I see a lot of crazy show. Well, not crazy, like, well, kind of crazy shows coming up, and I want to review all of them. Like, I think that was the mistake I made, was not, creating a schedule, and I kind of lost track because I was doing good. I had a good momentum at one point, but I fell off. So, but that's neither here nor there. I want to go ahead. I don't want to take too long getting into this video. So, I'm going to go ahead and start. Okay. So, this episode starts off with Angela meeting Reverend at his house, and so they're apparently having the family day. They're making pizza. It's her, Reverend, JoJo, and JoJo shows up with his fiance. Then Vanessa shows up, and they're just basically having family time or whatever. And JoJo and his dad, they go outside. Their dad go outside, and they're talking, and the girls are talking inside. JoJo is basically telling his dad that he wants more kids, and his sisters are asking his fiance about the wedding, and he said that he wanted to talk to his dad about marriage advice over a basketball game, but they didn't play the basketball game in the scene, so apparently it's gonna come later in the episode. And so they started talking about the party and how JoJo was like kind of going crazy at the party, how upset he was. And I mean, he was going hard for his sister. So come on. Like, it's not like he was like saying, it's not like he was acting that he was behaving that way for no reason. Like, he was going hard in the paint for his sister. And I feel like, yeah, like, he should never let anyone disrespect his sister no matter what. So, and then they just was saying like, you know, that he just was so upset. It's hard to calm him down once he gets started. Angela, she said that she's pretty much over the whole situation, and she's over Romeo, and she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. And dad walks in and everybody gets quiet. You know how when you're talking about something or you're talking about someone and you don't want the other people to know, and you get quiet about it, and dad's like, did I walk in on something? They're like, no. I'm like, bro, he already know y'all trying to hide something. So and apparently their pizza maker wasn't working. And so they ended up having to just order pizza. Sorry. Because the oven that they were using wasn't working. So then they cut to this whole scene with TeeTee. And let me just say this, okay? I understand where TeeTee is coming from, but it's annoying. It's like, mind your business. Like, at the end of the day, yes, she's young. Yes, he may have some flaws or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's her life, it's her mistakes to make. Like, sometimes you have to let people make their own mistakes, and you have to let people learn for themselves. Like, you can't always try to interfere. Like, and it's in some people's nature to try and save everybody, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to let people struggle, or you have to let people make mistakes and learn from them. You have to. Like, that's how some people get their life experiences. If you stop people from getting those life experiences or making mistakes, they'll never learn. And like, she's telling Peppa, about what happened at Romeo's party. And my thing with the whole thing is like, why does everybody care that he's unfollowing them? Why? Why? Social media is it. Let me put this down. Social media can have its good parts, and social media can have its bad parts. Like social media can be good, social media can be bad. But why does everybody care that he unfollowed y'all? So what? Like it's not that serious. Like um I think a real friendship is more important than a virtual friendship. Like he didn't just unfollow one person, he like unfollowed everybody. So why is it so important? Why does everybody care so much? um so TeeTee tries to talk about Sam. Well, she tells Pepper about Sam wanting to propose to Egypt, and Pepper like basically tells her to leave them alone, and I agree. She's like, let them be, and she said like, just let them be. They're young, they'll figure it out. And just because someone is being proposed to or getting engaged does not mean that necessarily they're going to be married right away. Like, give them a chance to figure it out for themselves. Like, people could be get engaged and be married for, I mean, get engaged and be engaged for like a year or two before they even get married. So it's not that serious. Like, just mind your own business. You say you got a man, right? You say you got a man. Okay, go talk to your man or go be with your man and stop worrying about other people. Ooh, and let them figure it out. That's basically how I feel about that situation. JoJo plans couple massages for his fiance, and they go down memory lane, and then he brings up the baby, and she feels like he's pressuring her. His fiance feels like he's pressuring her, but she's dead set against it. She's like she doesn't want a baby. She gave her reasons why, and I think she has her mind made up. But in a way, when she starts talking about the difficult birth that she had with her child, I think she's scared. I think literally she's scared of what might happen with the second child. But at the end of the day, you can't force her. You can't do that. You can't force her. You kind of gotta like just you gotta just go with the flow, and maybe she'll turn around, maybe she won't, but right now she's dead set against it. She even was like, they were having this conversation, excuse me, in front of the masseuses, and she was like, listen, I need some time, I need y'all to go. And so I don't know, I think JoJo just give her some time. Maybe she'll come around, maybe she won't. But now he says he wants counseling because he wants to see, if they can work out this baby situation. So apparently Brianna has a man. And I'm happy for Brianna. I want Brianna to be happy. I think Brianna is misunderstood. And I think Brianna is she is the type of person that she comes off strong, but she means well. And I think from since her past relationship, that crazy abusive relationship, that maybe she needs someone who really loves her, who's gonna love her, and maybe that'll like tame her or calm her down a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, so she's in the kitchen whipping it up for her man. She tells him about her interaction with Angela, and she says like she feels like Angela was judging her without getting to know her. And we as people, we often do that. We just go off of what we heard about somebody, or what we see a person do some one time, or well, in her case she did it a lot. But I kind of understand where Brianna's coming from in this situation, and I understand where Angela is coming from in this situation. Because if you cross me one time, like, I don't want to deal with you. Basically, like, if you cross me one time, I'm done. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want any. I just don't. So I understand where Angela's coming from, but I also understand where Brianna's coming from because she feels like she wasn't given a fair chance. Um, but we'll see what happens. And she was like, um she doesn't know why people are scared of her. And I'm like, really, Brianna? Really? I love you, Brianna. I do. But we all know why people kind of distance themselves from you because of your actions or your behaviors in past episodes or past seasons. But at the same time, they have to understand that that wasn't Brianna. That was Brianna, but that wasn't Brianna. Brianna was under the influence of, allegedly, under the influence of substances. So when someone is under the influence like that, they're not themselves. They're not in their right minds. So sometimes you have to like kind of take it for what it is. And if you want to have a relationship with that person afterwards, fine. If you don't, fine. Like, no one can force you to have a relationship with someone after they've sobered up. But I just think it's a matter of, she was that way, she seems to be clean now, so give her a chance. But we'll see if they make up or not. It seems like they're dragging this meetup with her and Angela, and whether or not her and Angela are gonna make up or not. So Egypt and TeeTee are having facials, and TeeTee is on her mission, of getting Egypt away from Sam. Like, she hasn't brought up the proposal because of course Egypt doesn't know, but she has said um she's going at Egypt about the situation, but Egypt is like defending her man. I gotta give it to her. She's like, listen, he supports me, he does this for me, he does that for me. And it's like Egypt is like, nobody's breaking us up. Egypt is like, she wants Sam. That's where she's gonna be. And TT's talking about he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. And I'm just like, well, TT, why does it matter to you? It's not your relationship. You guys are not together. Um, Sam is with Egypt. Why do you care? I understand that's your family. I understand that. But if her parents aren't worried about it, if her mom told you to let it go, if everybody else is telling you to let it go, why do you care? Let it go. Worry about yourself. Um, I mean, I just feel like she's beating a dead horse. Like, bro, let it go. Like, she gonna do what she wanna do. Y'all even notice, like, she's not grown, but she's an adult. She's 20. She's about to be, well, now she's 21. But in this episode, she's 20. She's not an adult. Like, she's not grown, but she's an adult. She can make decisions. She's capable of making decisions for herself. She is. Um. So, like, that's basically it. Like, Egypt is in love with Sam, and she's not gonna let him go for anybody. So, Brianna, moving on. Brianna and Twist gonna meet Boogie, and they tell him about plans, and he tells them about Sam's plans to marry. I mean, to propose to Egypt at his show. Brianna says she's too young to get married. And I said this before, just because they get engaged does not mean that they are going to get married. Like, this whole Egypt and Sam marriage thing is about to be like kind of played out, because if I'm not recalling, I mean, if I'm not recalling mistaken, if I'm not mistakenly recalling, they had it last season or maybe the season before where they were going to elope. Now, everybody has a problem with them getting engaged. Like, don't kill this storyline, WeTV. Like, don't kill the storyline. Like, don't have it going over and over and over. Either they're gonna get engaged or they're not gonna get engaged. They're gonna get married or they're not gonna get married. I just don't understand why everyone is so invested in whether they get married or not, or whether they get engaged or not. What Brianna is saying in this scene, it makes sense. It does. It really does make sense. But at the end of the day, it's nobody's business. It's nobody's business. Like, it's only Sam and Egypt's business, and her dad, because Sam should ask, traditionally he should ask for her dad. He should ask her dad for her hand in marriage. I'm sorry, I'm getting like anxious, so I'm getting tongue tied here because I'm getting so excited to talk about this. But at the end of the day, it's nobody business. And I'm like, hell, the boy ain't even get a chance to ask her yet. And everybody's like all up in arms about him asking her to marry him. And he ain't even asked her yet. I'm like, they gonna end up spilling everything and letting her know about the potential proposal before he even gets to ask her, because everybody keeps talking about it. And everybody just needs money on business at the end of the day. All right, Dame Dash and his girlfriend, moving on, are in the baby store, and they're talking about, and they're looking at baby clothes, and then they start talking about his daughter Tallulah. I hope I'm saying that right. Apparently, his older daughter Ava felt the need to write a statement or a deposition, which is basically a statement against her dad, saying why her dad should not have a visitation with her little sister. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because, okay, you may have had a relationship with your dad, but you have to give your little sister a chance to have a relationship with your dad. Just because your relationship with your dad is bad does not mean your little sister's relationship with your dad is going to be bad. I just don't think that that's right, and I don't think that you should side with the mother and write this deposition just to get back at your dad. I don't know if she did it just to get back at her dad, but I just feel like that is, she shouldn't have done that, or at least she should have talked to her dad first. That's how I feel about that. And it's just certain things as family you shouldn't go through. But sometimes when family fights, they pull out, they pull the gloves off and they go at it, and unfortunately, people get hurt in the long run, which people shouldn't get hurt. Well, it shouldn't. People shouldn't do things or create actions or commit actions that will hurt people. But sometimes it happens that way, and I just hope they come to a solution. I hope they figure out a way to coexist and figure out a way to rebuild their relationship. um Reverend meets with JoJo to play basketball. He asks his dad to officiate his wedding, which I thought that was a given anyway, since his dad is a reverend. But you never know with these celebrities. You never know. So his dad agrees to officiate his wedding, and they have a heartfelt conversation about how JoJo has changed, how JoJo has made a complete 180, and how proud of him that he is of JoJo. And those are the moments that you want from your parents. You want your parents to tell you that they're proud of you. Basically, you want that. You want your parents to acknowledge the things that you're doing. You want your parents to acknowledge the good things that you're doing. You want them to. So, and then he tells his dad that he wants to have counseling with him and Tania, his fiance. And his dad agrees to the counsel. He asked him, are they having problems? He was like, oh, we're having arguments, whatever. They're not really having, like, I don't think they're having, well, I'm not in the relationship. I'm not in their house. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like they're having, like, a serious issue. It just seems like they're having a disagreement about this whole baby thing. And I think that's probably it. So Brianna, Twist, and So, they all go out together to go meet Angela. I'm like, is she really gonna take these people in there with her to meet Angela? Like, I think that's something that should be just one-on-one. But we'll see next episode, because apparently they didn't meet up in this episode, but they've been preparing to meet almost the whole episode. Anyways, Twist is basically trying to coach her, tell her to have an open heart, an open mind. He's basically trying to prepare her to go into this thing with positivity. I like Twist not with the drama. Twist try to make all the jokes. Twist try to be the person that keeps everybody kind of calm. He tries to be the peacemaker. I like Twist. Ava is having a photo shoot, and Boogie shows up, and they're catching up, and he tells her, he wants to open up a rehab. And he was saying how people are asking him, why don't he have his dad do it. And he was like, no, I don't want dad to be a part of it, because then he'll say that it was all his idea. And then that's when the conversation opens up about their dad. And she asked him, did he talk to their dad? And he said yeah, and he told her that he was kind of upset about the deposition. And she said that she wrote the deposition for her sister, to protect her sister, and it was nothing against him. But at the same time, it depends on, like, if you said something really bad about him, then it is about him, because you're essentially keeping him from his child. And I don't know. I have mixed feelings about. I don't know what went on in their past, but it's a lot of fathers or a lot of parents that are not involved in their kids' lives. If this man wants to be involved in his child's life, who is anyone to try to keep him away from his child? Like, excuse me, it's just crazy to me. But they both, reminisce about their relationships with their dad. She says that she feels like that she doesn't have a dad and he's not in her life, and she said that she was just trying to protect her sister. And I just think it's a crazy situation. It really is. And I just think, they all need to sit down as a family. Maybe they need counseling. Maybe they need to go to counseling. And if you can see, like, if a lot of my videos, I'm like, people need counseling. Like, it's true, people do need to go to counseling. Like, I've been looking for a therapist, like a good therapist. I don't want to just go to anybody. But people do need, if they have so many issues that they can't work through, they need therapy. I just hope they figure out this situation because there are children involved. There are children involved. Um, Egypt is talking to Sam, and she told him what happened with TeeTee at the spa. Um, she feels like TeeTee is not treating her like family, and TeeTee is like basically against Sam. And she says she doesn't understand why TeeTee is against Sam. If she loves Sam, TeeTee should love Sam too, and she should be supportive of her and Sam's relationship. Um, he says, "Oh, we're gonna show them that they're all wrong about us, especially TeeTee. Like, they're gonna see after this show that I can provide for you, blah 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 blah." And we'll see. We'll see what happens, because apparently this has been going on for a long time, where everyone feels like you can't provide for Egypt. Everyone feels like if you have negative $300 in your bank account and you can't even provide for the two kids that you already have, how can you provide for Egypt? Basically is what everybody's saying. And then he goes on to say that TeeTee is jealous of Egypt, that TeeTee wants to be Egypt, and that basically that TeeTee wants him. And I'm like, I don't know. I think that's kind of a stretch. Apparently, Peppa has said the same thing, and it's been some things that TeeTee has done to make them all feel that way. But I think that's kind of a stretch. I don't know, but we'll see. No, this is just the fourth episode. We'll see later on in the season, but I just want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end, thank you very much for sticking with your girl. And just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already done so. And remember, if no one else tells you that they love you, Ashray loves you. I love you guys. Bye.